Good evening, and welcome to the Municipality of Monroeville's regular council meeting for May 14th, 2019. It is approximately 7:07 p.m. If you'd all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Roll call, please.
Mayor Griesbach?
Here.
Mrs. Gatos?
Here.
Mr. Poach?
Here.
Mr. Harvey?
Here.
Voting.
Mr. Johns?
Here.
Mr. Arasinko?
Here.
Mr. Duncan?
Here.
Mr. Wilson?
Here.
Mr. Little?
Here.
Mr. Ratcher?
Here.
Ms. Rock?
Here.
Mr. Hugus?
Here.
Mr. Sedlak?
Here.
Mr. Weldon?
Here.
We're going to start our meeting with public comment on proposed agenda items only. If you'd like to speak about any of the items that are on the agenda this evening, now would be your time to do it. Sir, if you could just sign in, please.
My name is Robert Serafini.
Welcome,
I'm
sir.
I'm a resident of Monroeville.
Very good.
I will sign it. My question has to do with second motion on tonight's agenda about Bel Air Pool. That was sort of pushed around last week a little bit, but could someone elaborate a little bit more on that? I mean, I understand the Turnpike Commission is taking care of the pool and stuff like that, but is there no other way we can get around this? What I was saying, instead of selling the land, can we not get them to put a pool somewhere in Monroeville? It's sort of like a swap. Because there's no other place in Monroeville.
Oh, there's 100.
There's a lot of local pools.
Yeah.
But I mean, nothing like Bel Air. I mean, you know,
Yeah, but
Well,
they
yeah, all
just
the
take it
local
from
pools
us.
are like that, Bob.
Well, the cost, I mean, it's a challenge for, to a new facility, a new pool. It would be quite expensive.
yes, yes.
But I don't believe that would be something that Turnpike would entertain.
You don't think they would go for something like
No.
rip one down and put another one in somewhere, like in one of our parks?
I have to ask, is it a mandatory sell?
Well,
they
if we
can
don't
take
sell
it.
it, it's eminent domain.
They'll take it in eminent domain for nothing.
Okay.
Because they
Just
did, I
asking.
just asked Paul over there, and they did the same thing to the one in Penn Hills. And I was wondering,
What they do in Penn Hills.
Yeah, they did, by the,
By the center.
Plum Aqua.
W.
near the
Private
golf driving
pool,
range
Plum
and
Aqua
over there.
Club. Yeah,
near the Willow
that's
driving
gone.
range.
Yeah. They tore that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's all-
gone.
because the Turnpike took it.
Yeah.
That was actually in Plum.
Yep,
Is
Yeah, that
somewhere
wasn't Penn Hills, that was Plum.
that is Plum.
Right,
right across from the
Yeah.
Irregardless.
From
club?
the VFW, yeah, that's Plum, was
Yeah,
Plum
Plum
Aqua.
Plum.
They
Okay.
took Plum Aqua
Well, I
and the
mean,
driving
is it-
range on the other side.
And the
Is this sort of like a done deal type thing for the Bel Air?
Pretty
I mean, that we have to get rid of it and everything else?
Either that, Bob, or they'll take it by
I
eminent.
believe it is a done deal, in my
I
opinion.
mean, there's nothing, like I said, this is going to be money, I don't know where now you guys are going to put it, but.
Well, we don't make any money on the pool. We break even, so the
He's
cost that we
talking
put
about on the
out.
sale.
On the sale.
Oh,
No,
no,
no.
there's a lot of infrastructure, and we can work
But
that
I
into
like-
our budget.
I'd like to see something done with it other than paying some bills. I'd like to see something done for the public. in
I agree with you. I
Monroeville.
think, I mean, we're removing a recreational facility.
Yes, yes.
And in my opinion, it would be up to this council, though, my opinion would be for it to stay in the recreation type or the, in
That's what I'm
public-
saying. I'd like to see something done like, and there's, I mean, instead of putting it I know we have to pay a lot of bills and everything, but I'd like to see something done for the public. You're closing one thing, I'd like to see something else,
You know what,
open up
Bob?
or elaborate.
I would agree with you, but if we didn't have the infrastructure issues that we have, I'm just going to give you my opinion. I think it's better going into infrastructure, road repair.
Well, there's
just
there's
how-
other,
I'd like to state an opinion
there's
also.
other alternatives available, too.
Sure.
I'd like to state an opinion also. When we constructed Monroeville Park, the new Monroeville Park, when we sold our sanitary sewer system with $10 million and constructed that, there was a pool scheduled to be built in that facility. So why not take that money and put it towards building a pole?
See, that's
Well,
what,
why wasn't it
something like
done,
that.
why wasn't it done when that happened? What did the council?
I don't know,
back
I
then do
wasn't
with
on
that money?
council at that time.
I wasn't either, that's why I'm
They
asking.
diverted the money.
But I know in the prints prior to,
There was supposed to be
Oh,
a
yeah.
community center
there was
as well.
supposed to be a community center, a pole, and
So-
that was never constructed. But what
Right.
I'm saying is if we're taking parks money, why don't we invest it into the park?
That's what I'm saying.
So I
something
don't,
like
I don't
that.
know what the cost of a pole is, but couldn't we take an actuary and take a look and see how much it would cost to install a pole at our park?
I kind of thought
That
it would
way,
help out all
all
the
the
neighborhood
leagues,
pools.
that way, all the, aren't there teams, and we'll be displacing a lot of different,
Yeah, but there's also a lot of community pools that are having a hard time making ends meet.
Neighborhood.
It would help the neighborhood pools a ton to have the community members that go there kind of disperse into the
I
neighborhood
understand that, but
pools.
it's not a municipal pole.
Okay,
Well, currently it is,
it's not like there's no pools
and it's our
around.
taxpayers' money.
Right.
Well, so if I could, real quick, so Mr. Serafino, just so you're aware, that this motion is not to make that decision at
I
this
know what
point.
it is.
It's
for
only
the
to advertise it for
advertising.
next month.
But there wasn't too much said about it on Thursday night, and that's the first time I had heard about it, and I wanted to see a little more elaboration on it from you people tonight. And I'm getting a lot of feedback, and I agree with Steve here, and, you know, things like that should be done for the municipality, other than putting it somewhere where it's not going to be seen or anything.
Right. Well, I mean, we have to continue to attract families here and.
Yes, I
and
agree.
for people to
And I
want to
know a
move
lot of
here.
people go down there from my neighborhood, which is right over the hill, close to Mr. Johns' ward. But,
Well, can we come to your house, Mr. John?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I have cold beer, too.
We can dam up Bader's Creek.
Well, once again, though, this is a motion just to advertise for the ordinance.
I know.
We'll speak more about it at next month's meeting, and then also that would just be to enter the agreement. When
But
we
I
talk
just-
about putting the money into facilities, that'd be a discussion even further down the road.
I understand that, but like I said, I just wanted to, since it was just put out there last week, I mean, you know, I wanted to see some other people's reaction to if they had the same reaction I had.
Well, let's put it this way, there'll be a lot of discussion on it. Certainly voice
I
your
hope so.
opinion at that time.
Thank you, I will.
Thank you, Mr. Serafini. If anyone else would like to address council on agenda items only? Seeing none, we're going to close that portion of the meeting. And we have a proclamation of National Police Week and National Peace Officers Memorial Day, which I will read into the record. Municipality of Monroeville of Allegheny County, Pennsylvania, a proclamation of the Honorable Nicholas J. Griesok, Mayor of the Municipality of Monroeville, Pennsylvania, recognizing National Police Week and National Peace Officers Memorial Day. Whereas the Congress of the United States of America have designated the week of May 12th through May 18th, 2019, to be dedicated as National Police Week, and May 15th of each year to be National Peace Officers Memorial Day. And whereas the law enforcement officers are guardians of life and property, defenders of the individual right to be free men and women, warriors in the war against crime, and dedicated to the preservation of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And whereas it is known that every 57 hours, an American police officer will be killed in the line of duty somewhere in the United States, and 187 officers will be seriously assaulted in the performance of their duties. Our community joins with other cities and towns to honor all peace officers everywhere. Now therefore, I, Nicholas J. Griesok, Mayor of the Municipality of Monroeville, Pennsylvania, proclaim the week of May 12th through May 18th to be Police Week, and call upon all citizens in this community to especially honor and show our sincere appreciation for the police officers of this community by deed, remark, and attitude. I call upon all citizens to make every effort to express their thanks to our men and women who make it possible for us to leave our homes and family in safety each day and to return to our homes knowing we are protected by men and women willing to sacrifice their lives, if necessary, to guard our loved ones, property, and government against all who would violate the law. And we'll be signing this today, May 14th, 2019. I have an executive session announcement that council conducted an executive session for personnel and litigation reasons prior to Citizens Night on Thursday, May 9th, beginning at 6:30 PM until 7 PM, and before tonight's council meeting, beginning at 6:30 PM until 7 PM. Council legislative action, if any, shall be taken at the May 14th council meeting. Council, we're moving over to our minutes, looking for the approval of the minutes of Citizens Night meeting of April 2nd, 2019, the council work session of April 2nd, 2019, and the regular council meeting of April 9th, 2019.
Motion to approve.
Second.
There is a motion and a second. Any comments or changes, council? There is a motion and a second to approve the minutes. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Gatos.
Aye.
Mr. Poach.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey.
Aye.
Mr. John.
Aye.
Mr. Arasinko.
Aye.
Mr. Duncan.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Council, the report of the tax collections. Is there a motion to approve?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Duncan.
Aye.
Mr. Arasinko.
Aye.
Mr. John.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey.
Aye.
Mr. Poach.
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos.
Aye.
The ayes have it. List of bills and budget transfers. Council. Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any questions or comments, council? Seeing none, the motion is to approve. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Gatos.
Aye.
Mr. Poach.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey.
Aye.
Mr. Johns.
Aye.
Mr. Arasinko.
Aye.
Mr. Duncan.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
The ayes have it. And your payroll report, council. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any comments? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Duncan.
Aye.
Mr. Arasinko.
Aye.
Mr. Johns.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey.
Aye.
Mr. Poach.
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Council, we are going to look at the vacancies on boards, commissions, and authorities. That is the blue section of your packet. We'll start with Mr. Wilson. Do you have anything this evening?
No, thank you, Mayor.
Mr. Duncan.
Nothing.
Mr. Arasinko.
Nothing, Mayor.
Mr. Johns. Mr. Harvey.
Yes, I'd like to nominate Bob Stevenson.
Appoint.
Appoint Bob Stevenson
Second.
to the Planning Commission. This is a vacancy that was originally in Ward 7, and Mr. Wilson graciously gave it to Mr. Stevens.
That is a motion to appoint and a second to appoint. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Mr. Harvey, do you have anything else?
No.
Mr. Poach.
None, sir.
Mrs. Gatos.
Nothing, thank you.
Very good. Council, we're moving over to our bids and proposals. We have 3 this evening. And once again, we spoke about all of these items at our Thursday work session meeting. But Mr. Little, if you would, please.
Yeah, as the mayor said, we have 3 proposals here, one for the paving, one for the seal coat, and one for the fog seal contracts. The first is looking for a motion to award the paving to Tresco Paving of Pittsburgh, PA for $1,019,215.75.
Motion.
Second.
Okay, as mentioned on Thursday, Russell Standard is the lone bid for the seal coat. And if it pleases council, they can award this, or we can rebid it. In the past, we have usually just awarded this to the lone bidder, and Russell Standard is a reputable company. Looking for a motion to award.
Motion to award.
Second.
And council, what we'll do is we'll let Mr. Little finish your third bid. We have 2 motions and 2 seconds to approve. We can do all 3 at the same time if council desires that.
We can.
Already there.
So, Mr. Little, the third,
Okay, the third is the fog seal for Holbein Incorporated of Sarver, PA for $153,687.41.
is there a motion to approve that item?
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Actually, we have a motion and a second to approve all 3 items, 19-01-PAV, 19-02-SC, and 19-03-FS. A motion and a second to approve all 3 bids and proposals. Any comments or further questions, council? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mrs. Gatos.
Aye.
Mr. Poach.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey.
Aye.
Mr. Johns.
Aye.
Mr. Arasinko.
Aye.
Mr. Duncan.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
19-1-C Recovery Centers of America. Mr. Little, please.
Okay, the applicant is requesting conditional use approval to operate an inpatient residential drug and alcohol rehabilitation and counseling facility pursuant to the Monroeville zoning ordinance number 1443 as amended, section 401.17. Property is located at 2380 McGinley Road in the L Special Use Zoning District. Planning Commission recommends approval with conditions.
Motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any comments or questions, council?
We talked about it enough.
We did speak about it on Thursday, absolutely.
Great.
Mr. Finnegan was here
One
both
question,
days.
it
Yes,
said,
sir.
the motion said with conditions, and there weren't any.
They're in the resolution, Jack.
Okay,
Yeah, they were.
okay, but there's no conditions. I didn't, at least I didn't see any. Are there some on it? Just
Paul, is there
curious.
any conditions that are?
General conditions, complying with
Oh.
codes and ordinances.
Oh, we gotta abide by the
complying with-
law.
Yeah, executing a developer's
What's that
agreement.
all about?
We good?
We're good.
Everybody good? Any questions for Mr. Finnegan?
No.
Very good. Anything else, sir?
Nope, thank you.
We can take a vote?
Yes, we have a motion and a second to approve.
Okay.
That's my job to get there. I will get there. Could we have a roll call, Sharon, please?
Mr. Wilson,
Aye.
Mr. Duncan,
Aye.
Mr. Arsenko, Mr. John.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey.
All right.
Mr. Poach.
Absolutely.
Mrs. Gatos.
Aye.
The ayes have it. We have, moving over to our motions for this evening, we have two. Mr. Little.
Motion to advertise the rescheduling of the July Citizens Night and Council Work Session from Thursday, July 4th, 2019 to Tuesday, July 2nd, 2019.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any comments?
I want to know why we can't have it right before the fireworks or something.
Let's
I'm
have it
kidding.
during
I'm
the
kidding.
parade. Please.
Just being there.
Questions?
Is your
Yeah,
question
that's even
answered,
better,
Mr.
huh?
Very good. So we have motion and a second to approve. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Gatos.
Aye.
Mr. Poach.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey.
Aye.
Mr. John.
Aye.
Mr. Arsenko.
Aye.
Mr. Duncan.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Little.
Okay, a motion to authorize to advertise an ordinance to enter into an agreement to sell 10.42 acres of municipal property known as the Bel Air Swimming Pool to the Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission for the purpose of widening the Pennsylvania Turnpike in Monroeville.
I'd make a motion to advertise this, and I'm in agreement with it because I think if we let them take it under eminent domain, we won't get near what we have negotiated.
I'll second.
There's a motion and a second to approve. Any other comments, council?
Yes, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Do we have an estimate of the 10.42 acres?
It's 962,
56, maybe? 956?
9 million.
Oh,
962,000.
Something like that.
956?
Just a little under $1 million.
956, I'm sorry. $956,000.
It's a little under $1 million.
So that's what the Turnpike would initially pay us.
That's what they would.
Correct.
That's correct.
And have we done, I mean, is that fair market, or?
Yes, that is fair market. We have had another assessment on the property, and it was lower.
Thank you.
Any other comments or questions, council? Seeing none, once again, this is just to advertise the ordinance, to discuss it for next month. There's a motion and a second to approve. Roll call. Sharon, please.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Duncan.
Aye.
Mr. Arsenko.
Aye.
Mr. John.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey.
Aye.
Mr. Poach.
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Council, moving to our resolutions. Mr. Little.
A resolution adopting the Dentistry for Kids sewage planning module.
Motion to
Motion.
approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve. Any comments, council? Roll call. Sharon, please.
Mrs. Gatos.
Aye.
Mr. Poach.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey.
Aye.
Mr. Johns.
Aye.
Mr. Arsenko.
Aye.
Mr. Duncan.
Aye.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Okay, a resolution amending the work hours for Route 22 William Penn Highway construction.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson.
Aye.
Mr. Duncan.
Aye.
Mr. Arsenko.
Aye.
Mr. Johns.
Aye.
Mr. Harvey.
Aye.
Mr. Poach.
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Mr. Little.
A resolution to amend the right-to-know law and provide relief from vexatious requesters.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Vexatious.
Does that mean a
Motion and a
lot?
motion and a second to
mean
approve.
paying the
Any
butt?
discussion?
Means paying the butt. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. So, Mr. Ratcher, if you could elaborate
Explain
on
that,
that
yeah,
for me.
please.
This is a resolution to petition the state legislature to amend the open records law. The municipality does not have the authority, obviously, to amend a state law. Many municipalities across the country are experiencing the same thing, and that is a very small group of people put a lot of repeated and burdensome requests for open records onto the municipalities. And this is the municipalities asking this legislature to take a look at the law and see if there's some way to address when there's a line that people cross with respect to their requests. So there's no guarantee that anything will change. This is simply a request of the legislature.
And we actually hired a person to help ease that burden, isn't that correct?
Well, we budgeted for one.
We
We
didn't hire-
hired one.
Yes, we did.
I thought we did hire.
Mayor, we did hire one.
But then it got moved into another position.
It did, but the purpose of that hire was for that reason.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, most certainly it was.
To assist.
And then that person was absorbed into our system
Correct.
with a title change.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, we
I'm just
have,
going to ask Linda, she knows.
I do know about that, because
I
I
do.
didn't understand why we didn't have a title change brought to us and just the person was absorbed into our system.
Right, and it was my understanding it was hired for
Correct.
this purpose.
I agree with you.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have.
yeah, and we just recently, I mean, just to give people an idea, we had a recent right to know from Mr. Sedlak. Which town was this right to know from?
West Easton.
West Easton, which is near New Jersey.
Yes.
And this request was for, was it paper plates?
Paper plates, food, soda, water, coffee that we've spent at the municipality in the last 6 years.
That's ridiculous.
So, yeah, so we got a request from someone near New Jersey asking
Came from.
I do,
asking,
but it's ridiculous.
those items. So those are the type of things, I mean, certainly we
So it
don't,
could go out of the municipality or out of state?
Yeah.
you have to be in-state.
In-state.
In-state, but we have a lot of them from the other side of the state.
You don't have to be in-state.
You don't have to be in
3
state,
minutes.
anywhere in the
You don't have to be
country.
in the state.
Anywhere in the country.
Yeah.
I take
Anywhere in the
that back.
You don't have to tell me that, I'm asking the question.
Person from California can file that.
So, yeah, we
that's-
certainly don't
that's
want,
good.
I don't think anyone up here is against transparency, but
No.
certainly it's about making
Abuse.
reasonable requests. But once again, this is just to ask the legislator to consider maybe changing some of the rules up. So we do have a motion and a second to approve. Any further discussion or comments, council?
I just have to say it out loud. We know where it stemmed from, right here in Monroe.
Well-
And I'll leave it at that.
Another point of discussion, too, so, to Mr. Arsenko, so, in wearing your other hat as our representative to the Elam folks,
Oh, I'm certainly on.
can you try to get, I think that's a good point to discuss there, to bring more people on, this brings more folks to bear.
I have a meeting May 23rd.
Terrific. That's a good start to encourage other people to get involved and adopt the same kind of
Correct.
piece.
That's the
Because
entire concept.
in our investigation of it, Mr. Sedlak and I went over to, we've been carrying the water on the idea, further through the state. And it's like, okay, well, there's no change. There's, this, that, and the other thing from.
I'm good.
well, that too. So thank you for that effort.
Anything else, council? We have a motion and a second to approve. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Arsenko?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Council, moving over to our ordinances, we have 3 this evening. Mr. Ratcher.
An ordinance of the Municipality of Monroeville repealing ordinance number 2699, which amended ordinance 848, regulating on-street parking on East Patty Lane. And this was a recent change to a long-time existing ordinance which further restricted parking on East Patty Lane. If you vote for this ordinance, you will be taking it back to where it was before, I think, February of this year, with respect to the permission of people to park on the roadway.
The only thing, if I can say, so I will say this, since I'm the guy that wanted to get this done for some of the residents over there. Just very, very recently, my memory isn't, but when I say recently, I mean just early last week, there was a resident right where this situation happens all the time. And one of you, Mr. Harvey, may know. There were 2 ambulances, a fire truck, a couple police cars. and there was a problem with one of the residents. I hope the gentleman's okay, but irregardless,
Yes.
if it would have been a different time of the day, it would have been devastating because they wouldn't have been able to get through there. So we've been trying to fix that. And I don't know what to do about it anymore because what has happened, you get people saying, JJ, can you please correct these folks that are parking where they don't? And I've done everything from, hey guys, will you please? And it lasts a day, then it goes away. And then I get the other people say, well, why can't I park here? And most of it is, from what I can see by looking all the time, it's a matter of not taking the time to move a car out of a driveway. It's not that they don't have somewhere to put it. They just don't have the patience to shh.
Yes.
And I understand it. I do. I really, really do. I happen to be a guy that lives across from the park. I get it. I try not to park over there. I really, really do. I park in my own driveway. And it's not that I haven't parked there before, but I don't know how to please these people. So if it's a matter of taking away, let them go back to where they are. The only thing that I had mentioned to Mr. Hugus, because we did have this conversation, we do have an existing ordinance, and if I'm wrong, correct me, that says no parking from 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. I think that's what it is.
Correct.
And it's a standing ordinance, which means I don't have to come to council or anywhere else. I could go to Mr. Hugus or Mr. whoever's in charge and say, do me a favor, put a sign over there. Is that going to solve the problem? Probably not, but it's going to at least get some of these folks to understand, maybe you ought to try parking a little better.
So it'd have to be posted with signage, and then it'd have to be enforced by the police department.
Correct. Once the sign's there, they'd enforce it, certainly, yeah. And it's not that I'm trying to do anything to any of the residents. I'm trying to make everybody happy, and I just don't know how to do it.
Well, it could be a public safety issue, that's what the problem is.
You'll never do it, JJ.
Didn't you get more residents that said no to this than
Yeah, I had more
yes?
phone
once
calls.
you-
I had more phone calls from people saying, hey, well, I think it's a great idea from having these people not parking the way they're parking it. I said, okay, I'll try to fix that. And then it came the other reverse.
The reverse, which is why
I mean, they're
we're,
over there knocking on my doors. And,
yeah, reversing it. Okay.
Well, that being said, is there a motion
I'm sorry.
to approve this ordinance?
Motion to approve it.
I'll second it.
And there's a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion, anything else you'd like to add, Mr.
No, I'm done.
Short?
I hope they have fun over there. I'm done.
Anyone else, counsel? Anyone else? A motion and a second to approve. Roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Arasenko?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Mr. Ratcher.
An ordinance of the Municipality of Monroeville regulating vacant and abandoned property which addresses deterioration and blight in the municipality and requires the implementation of registration, maintenance, and security measures.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Any comments, council? Once again, we did speak about this on Thursday, and once again, I think it's one of these, another layer of, another tool for the municipality to stay ahead of some of these issues. The land bank is doing a great job, but, blight is definitely a serious issue in the county, and it's something that, I think we as a community, we need to stay ahead of before it really digs in. So this is one of the things that will allow us to maybe stay ahead of some of these homes.
Excuse me, Mayor, I wasn't here Thursday, so that would entail, like, if there, in one of our wards, there's a house that's blighted, or...
Vacant. If no one's living there, they would have to register the home.
Okay, and our code enforcement would enforce that?
Yes.
Okay, they register the home, then what? I mean, what's the steps, like for...
It's all outlined in the ordinance, but you would
Okay.
have, yeah.
I have to look through the ordinance. Okay, thank you. Very good.
Anything else? We have a motion and a second to approve. Roll call, please.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Arasenko?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Mr. Ratcher.
An ordinance of the Municipality of Monroeville approving a grading easement for Sandy Hill Development LLC concerning property owned by the Municipality of Monroeville located adjacent to Maple Crest Residential Development.
So move.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Any comments? Roll call, please.
Mr. Wilson?
Aye.
Mr. Duncan?
Aye.
Mr. Arasenko?
Aye.
Mr. Johns?
Aye.
Mr. Harvey?
Aye.
Mr. Poach?
Aye.
Mrs. Gatos?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Moving to our reports of municipal staff. Mr. Ratcher, do you have anything for this evening?
Nothing further, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Little.
Yeah, just a recap of what I spoke about Thursday evening. ECS&R, who will have a program coming to your doorstep to do hazardous waste and electronic recycling. That program's been delayed a little bit until they get a permit from the DEP. Item number 2, we have the annual law enforcement torch run benefiting the Special Olympics, which will be running through Monroeville on June the 5th, probably. They start at PNC Park, and or I think it's Heinz Field, and go to Altoona, and they come through Monroeville on the, I believe it's the second day, and they start at the Sheets here, the westernmost Sheets, and they run to the Speedy up near Alpine Village, the Speedy gasoline station. And also, the Turtle Creek Valley COG has received the 2019 Pennsylvania Governor's Award for intergovernmental cooperation on their blight program. And that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Little. Mr. Hugus, anything this evening?
No, sir.
Ms. Ruck.
Nothing.
I'm going to open up the floor for public comment on any municipal item. If anyone had any comments about any municipal item, now would be your time to address council. Seeing none, we're going to close that portion of the meeting. We're going to go over to our council reports. Mrs. Gatos, we'll start with you.
I again will remind everyone, first of all, Election Day, May 21st, please get out and vote. It's your right. People have worked hard to give you that right. Secondly, please be canned good to help feed our the food banks to help benefit the Monroeville residents that are in need. I think that's all I have for tonight.
Very good. Mr. Poach.
Again, also get out to vote the 21st. So necessary. And on a personal level, happy birthday to my wife on Saturday, and happy wedding anniversary to us on Sunday.
Yay.
All right.
Yeah, way to go, Tracy.
Mr. Harvey.
Congratulations to the Monroeville Mall, who celebrated their 50th anniversary yesterday. I was at the celebration at the mall with Mayor Griesok. They unveiled a wall of pictures showing some of the history of the mall. I encourage you to go look at it and look at those pictures. It really brings back some memories, like the ice rink and the fountain in the one court and the tall clock tower in the other one that used to be in the court area. They also had pictures of from Hollywood when they made Dawn of the Dead there. If you get a chance, you should stop by and look at it. My congratulations to them again. It was a pleasure meeting a gentleman from the maintenance department who's worked there since the mall opened. And so congratulations to the Monroeville Mall, and I hope they continue to prosper. That's all.
Thank you, Mr. Harvey. Mr. Johns.
Yeah, the only thing I have is last evening we had a parade committee meeting. The parade fireworks is going ahead full tilt. We're getting a lot of responses. We still have a lot more to come in, but everything is moving ahead rather quickly. We're getting close. I had a meeting with the gentleman from the fireworks, Pyrotech, and I'm working on a new 3-year contract. Our contract's up this year, and I think I'm going to get that resolved. And the fireworks are going to be better than ever this year. That's all I have.
Thank you. Mr. Aracinko.
Just a couple of quick things. Don't forget Memorial Day Parade, the 27th. Please get out and support our veterans and our current military personnel. Obviously, Mayor, thank you for reading the proclamation for our police. I don't think we thank them enough. They certainly do put their lives on the line for us, and I think it's worthy of us to remember that always. Obviously, the Monroeville Mall, congrats on 50 years. And last, I only have 2 other items, and I need to correct one. Center Road, as I did state to you, will certainly be repaired, milled and repaired totally once that outfit that the Municipal Water Authority contracted finishes what they're doing. So that will get done. So be patient with that. I know it's bad. I drive it a lot, so.
Well, we get complaints because of how bad it is with the paving. And as soon as it's done, it's going to turn into a racetrack, so we'll get complaints again.
Well, you know how it goes.
Yeah.
But on the Haymaker Road, I gave you bum information last week. I guess it changed from the last time I talked. Mayor Griesok did talk to the county, and I followed up. They are going to just patch it. They're not going to mill and pave it, and it has to do with budget cuts. Say that, but we got cut on that, but they are going to repair and do what they can to make it a little bit better.
But we need to make more calls down there.
Yeah, well, you know what, and the mayor's right. Certainly call down to the county and raise hell. I certainly do it.
It's
so.
like driving on Moon Boulevard.
Hey, while we're on that subject, I hear you have a lot of clout. How about Main Street? That's a county road.
Oh, I know.
I've gotten multitude of complaints on that.
And I drive that as well, as you well know, Steve. I do what I can on that, and I'll be honest with you, I think they're going to patch that up as well, is all I'm being told.
Okay.
So, but last but not least, and let me ask you, this is a Ratcher question. We get these rights and those, and, why, is it okay if we use their names? Who's giving us the stupid ones?
Well,
It's public.
when you're referring to them as stupid, that's kind of a subjective thing.
Okay, well, it's my opinion.
So it is a matter of public record with who the name of the requester is.
Well, okay, I'll retract my stupid comment, but again, go back 6 years to find out how many pieces of bread you bought and how many
Napkins?
napkins.
Maybe I know.
I think that's
I know we
crazy.
post everything on the website, there might not be room, but maybe there ought to be a place on the website where you can see what people are requesting and who the requesters are.
Or we can make it part of the agenda where we have a report.
Well, I would like to see that. I didn't even.
Well, to review that topic, we discussed it, and I don't think we carried further through, but I believe our group agreed in the same form now to go ahead and continue to post those requests under a section of the website. We can do that, and
Do we?
Have we been doing
we
it?
did. We had a discussion similar to this.
No, I mean, are they posted?
No.
No, they're
Oh,
not
okay.
at the moment, too. So I don't know that we continued through that process. I think we put it aside for other IT priorities at the time. So-
And I do apologize to the public for my off-the-wall.
But it has to be everyone. I think that was another conversation, no matter what it is.
And I'm sorry,
all of
that's
the,
still stupid in my opinion.
but all of them need to be posted.
Mayor, that's
if
my
they're
job.
too. So, we had that discussion.
my
We
job.
just need to move forward with that as a section under there, as we did previously with the
Did we not post the
delinquent taxes.
delinquent taxpayers,
We did.
Mr. Little?
Yes, it was on there.
Yes,
Yeah.
so I think that we should be able to put up the right to know requests.
Yeah, it's
That's a
public domain
public- it's
information.
It's a public
domain.
document. You
It's a
can do
public
that.
document,
Public
and we as a group, we didn't make it a resolution, but in this form of a discussion, we did
Well, then
approve
let's
that.
do it.
Then, okay.
Okay, so I guess that's,
Tim, Mayor, we good?
Council, everybody good with that?
Yes.
Any
Yeah,
thank
problems
you.
with that? Any concerns?
No.
Nope.
and then the similar report that we receive on those can then be posted that Mr. Sedlak,
I mean, some of them are
produces for us.
justified, but we have to put them all up, and it's up to the public to decide what they
We're
think
not
is
talking about
justified.
justified.
We have to put every one of them
I
up.
agree.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm done, Mr. Mayor.
Very good, thank you.
Wow.
Mr. Duncan,
Well, I lost track here a little.
Gotta tell
James
you.
Street.
Yeah.
What day is it?
Are we still at the meeting?
I like that talk. That was good.
It is good talk.
That was good.
I was absent here Thursday, and I'd just like to congratulate Mike Adams on his retirement. He's been a friend of mine, and I've worked with him for over 40 years. And good luck, Mike. Enjoy it. And lastly, I cannot forget this. This is to my wife, Michelle, of 40 years, our anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
When is yours,
Way to
Steve?
go,
Ours
Michelle.
was Mother's Day Sunday.
Yeah, yeah, I was coming up.
There you go.
So when you met Mike, you got married.
Yeah. Yeah, he talked me into it.
It was him or her.
And
This is a tough
that's,
crowd.
I think that's all I have.
That's great.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Duncan.
Thank you.
Steve.
Hey, Joe, I'm ready for those couple photographs, please.
Of yourself.
Yeah. Nobody else wants. Oh, this is number 6 Fire Department. They were helping with the Sedlak cleanup day. They were protecting the group of kids and families that were down on Laurel Drive. You show Laurel Drive, Joe, please. This is Shawna Loth and her husband Roger and her sons Sam and Ben, and Adrian Kilms with her children Corey and Logan, and Matt Cross with his son Anthony, Roger and Anthony, and his son Anthony, I'm sorry. Thank you, guys, and these young Cub Scouts did a terrific job, and they look forward to this every year, except, their mom does push them out of the house, but once they get out, they're looking forward to it. So thank you again. Thank you, number 6, and looking forward to another good year of the Sedlak cleanup. Thank you, Joe.
Very good. Anything else, Mr. Wilson, for this evening?
That's all. Thank you.
Very good. Yeah, and I'll echo those same remarks. That was a hard-working crew there, and a special thanks to number 6 Fire Hall, because that is a little unsafe area for those people to be working on, but so that was nice that they came out. And once again, great job, Joe, everything you do for that cleanup day. Super event, over 500 attendees, picked up a lot of garbage, a really nice event and nice way to honor your father. And Jay, great job as well. Jay Sedlak as well had a big crew on Old William Penn, and great event every year for the community. Another event coming up Saturday, May 18th. Mr. Harvey mentioned the 50th anniversary of the Monroeville Mall. They're going to continue their celebration this Saturday, May 18th. They have a free family event from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the upper level entrance between JCPenney's and Party City. Superheroes, princesses, face painting, vendors, giveaways, the works. So they have a really nice event planned. And once again, I was happy to be there yesterday for the mural unveiling, and the mall certainly has been a major fixture of this community for many years, for 50 years, actually. Another 50th anniversary is Elmer's Aquarium, another business in Monroeville. Congratulations to them as well for 50 years, right on William Penn Highway. We're getting younger, 40 years, 40th anniversary. Mr. Duncan, congratulations. Congratulations to Mr. Poach and his anniversary coming up.
Thank you.
And once again, a special, I wish Mike Adams the best and good luck with your future endeavors. And with that, I will seek a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you and good night.
That's it.